It's March 19th, 2020. Our sights are set, our vision is clear, and the message is more important than ever. Why? Because it's your message, your story, your show, and I'm your host, Larry Brantley, and it's time for UCaaS Connection. Okay, we teased it last week here on UCaaS Connection, and now it's official. Today, we are going international with our friends north of the border, TeraGo. Blake Wetzel, TeraGo's Chief Revenue Officer, is going to join us to discuss scaling the cloud. Now, we're still waiting to hear from Elon Musk, but apparently he's tied up in negotiations with his Texas realtor, so we'll try again when he gets here. But in his absence, we've actually done one better. Amy Bailey is here to tell us how Telarus' race to the summit could put you behind the wheel of a Tesla. And of course, as you already know, with Telarus, you're always in the driver's seat. But first, Nancy Seco has this week's news. Nancy.
Thanks, Larry. Less than a month after Microsoft's acquisition of Affirm Networks, the software giant has announced its acquisition of Metaswitch. Terms of the deal haven't been disclosed as of today's broadcast, but the move has sparked a lot of buzz throughout the telecom landscape. What does seem clear, however, is Microsoft's intent to target the industry through inorganic deals rather than developing the technology internally. A likely objective is to gain further adoption of its Azure public cloud in a direct challenge to market leader Amazon Web Services. Metaswitch's 5G solution allows customers to handle their public network traffic over a public cloud infrastructure, rather than adding capacity in their own data centers to support additional network use at higher speeds. We reached out to representatives from both companies to gain further details and insights, but had not received their replies by the time we went to air. We will keep you updated as more details become available. Momentum Telecom, a leading provider of cloud voice, unified communications, and network services, has been announced a winner of the 2020 TMC Net Teleworking Solutions Excellence Award for its UCaaS Solution Suite. This award honors the best and most innovative products and services in the industry. Momentum's UCaaS Solution Suite encompasses all aspects of business communications, streamlining voice, video, chat, network, and analytics into a single provider. Momentum Mobility supports multi-device calls with presence. For larger meetings and presentations, Momentum Collaborate offers a simplified, secure platform for presenters and attendees. Momentum's omni-channel cloud-based contact center features robust reporting, recording, and call routing capabilities for deeper insight into team performance and productivity. And finally, Momentum's carrier-neutral cloud and SD-WAN options allow businesses to easily scale the strength and footprint of their fiber connectivity, so that business communications can run without interruption. Congratulations to the team at Momentum. And speaking of awards, Becca Business Media and Channel Vision Magazine announced their annual 2020 Visionary Spotlight Awards. The deadline for nominations is June 26th. The annual VSA competition highlights both channel and service provider innovation and communications across numerous categories, including future industry impact, differentiation, and ease of use and operation. VSA winners gain instant opportunities for higher visibility as trusted providers for business success. The 2020 VSAs feature a brand new Overall Excellence Award for Digital Transformation and Business Technology Award for Software-Defined Interconnectivity. The 2020 Visionary Spotlight honorees will be recognized with an official media introduction, including a magazine feature in the May-June 2020 issue of Channel Vision magazine, and a series of online spotlights. Back to you, Larry.
Now, we've all been living in this distant connection paradox. When we're together, we're 6 feet apart. We may be miles away, but video conferencing keeps us all connected. And at the moment, getting back to normal may feel like an uphill climb. And lucky for us, Amy Bailey and her team at Telarus have a great way to turn that uphill climb into a a race to the summit. Hi, Amy. Welcome back to UCaaS Connection. Amy, are you there? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Hey, fantastic. Now, first off, will you give us a quick overview of this contest?
Sure. So the Race to the Summit is really a long-term game. Think like the Amazing Race. We're going now through August 12th, where partners can participate in challenges and earn badges and win great prizes. So we have, small swag items, things like Grubhub gift cards or fun other gift cards, all the way up to $25,000 or a lease on a 3-year lease on a Tesla.
Okay. Now, we know that there's an app, and how do partners engage with that app?
So the best thing to do is go to Telarus.com/race to the summit, and there's a way that you can request a login to the app there. You don't have to go and download anything from the App Store. It really just runs in your browser, but it's a great way for you to be able to watch videos, engage with channel managers, do all kinds of fun social media contests. I think we had a Blast from the Past challenge, a Wear Your Halloween Costume in May and Walk the Dogs challenge. So some fun stuff that you can do with your family, as well as some really great learning opportunities.
Now, will you tell us a little more about the calendar of events?
Sure. So we're adding new events every day, every week. We have a number of our suppliers. Our presenting suppliers are Vonage and Granite, and we have legs of the race that are specific to them. So it might be watch a video from them. It might be watch call the channel manager, do something very specific as a way to be able to earn points.
Are those the kinds of things that we'd see in the suppliers tab?
Exactly. In the suppliers tab, you would be able to click on Telarus and see all the things available to you, or click on any one of those suppliers and see exactly what they're offering.
Okay. Now, it's no big secret that partnership and networking go hand in hand. So how does Race to the Summit capture that?
Absolutely. So one of the ways we're doing that is in the networking piece. You're able to do challenges like call a local channel manager, learn more about their product, ways that you can really get deep with a supplier, like, doing an engineering talk with them or participating in the Jeopardy game that we're going to have this Friday.
Now, this has got a really great gaming approach. How do we earn points in Game On? I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So in Game On, you can earn points by completing badges. There are individual badges as well as leg badges. So there's an example of like Nextiva has a complete badge leg where you can see all 4 different pieces that they have of that. And if you do each one of those things, you get points for each one of those. But when you complete all 4, you get bonus points for completing all 4 and completing that entire leg.
I'm sold completely. Amy Bailey, thank you so much for joining us today. Please come back anytime you like and give us updates on this great partner opportunity. It's good to talk to you.
You too. Thanks so much.
All right. We have raced to the summit with Telarus, and it's a great view from up here, but we want to help you climb even higher. Blake Wetzel, TeraGo's Chief Revenue Officer, is a man who has his head in the cloud, and quite frankly, we're glad he does. Blake, welcome to UCaaS Connection.
Thanks for having me, Larry.
You bet. Now, give us a brief overview of TeraGo.
Sure. TeraGo is not really widely known across the globe. We are a 20-year-old company, public company in Canada. We're a unique combination of assets. We actually have, we're one of the only national network providers in Canada, so we actually can cover almost the entire country. Predominantly based off of fixed wireless technology, but also fiber assets. In addition to that, we are actually a cloud company. So we actually run our own hyperscale cloud, but we're also an AWS partner, an Azure partner, and we also are a very established VMware partner for private clouds. So we have the entire spectrum of the cloud portfolio available to customers. In addition to that, we actually have 5 data centers. The other thing that is somewhat of a public knowledge is we also own most of the 5G spectrum for fixed wireless and millimeter wave in Canada. So we have this great combination of assets, and on top of that, we put a wrapper of managed services, et cetera, about us. We have a couple unique differentiators in that we really pride ourselves on speed to market. So helping customers get up and running quickly, whether it's through cloud or network, we really pride ourselves on that. The other thing we're extremely proud about is our Net Promoter Score, customer satisfaction. It's a focus on us every day. We have our NPS score, it runs around 70, which is in our industry is a pretty unheard of number. So we're extremely proud of that. So we really think like we're a unique partner opportunity inside the Canadian market, both for Canadian and U.S. partners.
Well, let's go into that a little bit. Who would you say identifies as TeraGo's sort of sweet spot customers and verticals?
Sure. They're generally in the middle market and enterprise space, multi-location customers. A lot of verticals that we see a lot of. Retail is very clear, especially U.S. retailers who reach into the Canadian market. Mining, logistics, organizations that have a large geographic footprint or that have a strong Canadian presence that requires data sovereignty, so keeping their data inside the Canadian borders. In addition to that, all the Canadian enterprises are really our customers. We see a lot of global enterprises coming into the Canadian market looking for national providers, and we really hit that spot.
Okay. You mentioned briefly in my previous question to you differentiators. So help us understand, if you will, what you would consider to be the biggest differentiators with TeraGo's solution set.
Yeah, I think the speed to market is number one.
Okay.
We really heard this when I was running U.S. companies and working with the Canadian market. We were always frustrated with the speed to getting customers serviced. So we really focus on that and try to get customers up and running as quickly as possible, meeting their needs. The other thing that we really do is we hit areas that everyone else doesn't. Fiber is not as available in the Canadian market. So being a fixed wireless technology, we can get to customers where fiber assets cannot get there, whether it's fiber, DSL, or other networking assets, which then is completely linked to our cloud services. So really puts together this combination. And I think that's really the last differentiator besides the service is there aren't too many companies like us that actually have network, cloud, co-location, so we can meet the customer's entire IT infrastructure and managed services needs.
Thanks for that. Now I want to transition to a little bit of this topic of scaling the cloud. So what are the most common issues or challenges that CIOs and IT teams encounter when managing their cloud infrastructure?
Yeah, I think number one is actually deciding what cloud infrastructure to choose. There's so often, when I talk to CIOs, they're really struggling with who and what platforms to use. They always think they hear of AWS, they hear of the hyperscalers, and they immediately gravitate to that. But that's not always the right answer. So truly sitting down and understanding what applications, what are they trying to achieve by their cloud journey, their digital transformation, is critical. And it's helping them choose the right cloud that really meets their needs, whether it's the economic side, are they going to really be able to scale, and is this a long-term sustainable platform? What's the performance requirements? And then what's the security requirements? Where's their geographic diversity? Do they need that activity? And then there's a myriad of other issues that they struggle with. The other one that I think is the biggest thing that I hear from CIOs all the time is they don't have the skill sets inside the enterprise. And even when you get into the larger enterprises, when you look at today's companies, especially when you're talking about $100 million plus companies, they're running 6, 7 different cloud platforms. They don't have the skill sets to be able to have an AWS expert, an Azure expert, a VMware expert. And in this environment of multi-cloud, it's a real challenge. So getting to an organization that can help them kind of sift through all of the different options of the cloud platforms and get them on the right clouds for them, I think is a critical aspect.
Well, I think you just answered my next question in terms of how managed service providers can help with the process of scaling the cloud and migrating applications. Can you elaborate on how companies should approach the scaling to a multi-cloud and hyperscale environment?
Sure. It's not just the platform too. I mean, there's other aspects that when you get into the detailed conversations with CIOs today, you find out this happens all the time. They don't think through security. They don't understand how security issues are going to happen. They don't think about their disaster recovery and business continuity plans. They don't understand how that's all linked. They also don't understand how the network drives this. So all of these things are very detailed conversations. And the challenge that I see with CIOs today is they're jumping into it thinking it's purely just a platform. Then they get into it. They've invested money, they've invested time, they've either started migrating platforms or they've done some test dev environments. And then they found out they're down a path they can't get themselves out of. They're in a hole that is just going to be a cost a growing cost item, and they're not going to get the optimization that they thought. So those aspects really get into, it's a very detailed, we do a workshop with our CIOs to sit there and understand what are they trying to achieve? What applications are they trying to look at? And then how are they migrating, going through that? And then what's their long-term operating model?
I could not have said any of that better myself, my friend. Blake Wetzel of TeraGo, thank you so much for joining us today on UCaaS Connection. You stay safe, and we hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Okay.
If you would like to be a featured guest on UCaaS Connection, let us know. We are here to help you tell your story. Visit us at ucaasbeat.com or through our UCaaS Connection social media pages. You can request an interview, submit stories, updates, big wins, or anything else that's newsworthy by emailing us at featureus@ucaasbeat.com. These are your stories, and this is your show.
And that, my friends, is our show for this week. I want to thank our guests, Amy Bailey with Telarus and Blake Wetzel with TeraGo. Elon, if you're on hold, we'll get back to you right after the closing credits, or you can just, call us back when you're free. Now, hey, we've got another great lineup for you next week. Marco Sanchez and John Romeo from TBI will be joining us to discuss collaboration architecture and its role in business continuity. And we're also going to be joined by Akil Shahid, Vice President, National Strategic Partners with Vonage. We'll be talking AI, its value, and its impact on the customer communication experience. So, until next week, be safe, keep your distance, but always, no matter what, stay connected.